up on stage. Okay.
You get everybody sit down.
Are they able to come in and sit down? Yeah, okay. Oh, they can, okay, all right.
They can't be?
Okay, good to start. Okay. All right. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here. I'm pleased to be with some caucus colleagues as well as leaders from the Iraqi community, and we're here to discuss the situation on the ground in Iraq. I'm going to have a few remarks, but before I do, I'm going to invite Fatima Marjan from the Iraqi community to share a little bit about what's happening.
Thank you for having me. We're here today as Canadian Iraqi individuals, not representing any organization, association, or party. And we are calling on Canada as well as the international community to escalate pressure on the Iraqi government in order to stop the bloodshed in Iraq. Peaceful protesters took to the streets demanding basic civil rights, and their government responded with live ammunition and tear gas canisters to the head. It has been 72 days, and the numbers speak for themselves. 500 dead, 20,000 injured, and hundreds missing. In stark contrast with the violence around them, peaceful protesters have responded with nothing but love. They have made their city their canvas, swept the streets clean, provided food for each other, and with their very own hands are building what the Iraqi government has failed to give them, a nation. The world's silence has been deafening, but we are here today to say enough is enough. Iraq has bled for far too long. Those responsible must be held accountable. We cannot allow these perpetrators of injustice to walk free. It's time they face the consequences. Today, we ask Canada to assist Iraqis in taking back their country. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. When many people here in Canada think of Iraq, their associations are with violence and chaos. Indeed, Iraqis have been victims for a long time, often caught in the crossfire of conflict and competition between various factions and elements, many of them foreign, over the last 2 decades. This follows the less chaotic but also extremely violent rule of Saddam Hussein. But the people of Iraq do not want this violence or division. They see themselves, and they are inheritors of a great civilization and a thoughtful, peaceful people who are able to govern their own affairs in keeping with the country's best pluralistic traditions. Iraq's government faces serious corruption problems, sectarianism, and the ongoing challenge of foreign interference, which seeks to divide and dominate. In response, Iraqi people have taken to the streets in a peaceful protest movement which seeks an end to corruption, sectarianism, and foreign interference, a government by and for the Iraqi people. The response, however, has been incredibly violent. Government-affiliated and foreign-backed militias have sought to repress these peaceful protests, killing hundreds and critically wounding thousands. I sent a letter to the Minister of Foreign Affairs on November 20th calling for greater Canadian engagement with this situation. The Minister issued a statement about the situation on November 28th, and we see this as a positive step, but further engagement is required. Today I tabled 2 petitions in the House of Commons about this issue. They call on the House of Commons and the government to strongly condemn the use of violence against protesters. They ask the government of Canada to pressure the government of Iraq to investigate and stop this violence while holding those responsible accountable. They call on us to engage with the Iraqi government to promote pluralism and national unity, and they want Canada to impose Magnitsky sanctions on those in Iraq who have committed gross violations of human rights. On Friday, the United States listed 4 people in Iraq involved in violence against protesters through their Magnitsky sanctions process. Iraqi people are demanding an end to the sectarian system, an interim technocratic government to be followed by new elections under a new system. Again, I am pleased to be joined by members of the Iraqi community who have come to Ottawa for this important day. I want to salute their courage and their leadership, and also recognize the presence with me of 2 other MPs, Jasraj Hullan, who's a great leader on these and other human rights issues, and also our Shadow Minister for Defense, James Bazan, who's also the sponsor of the Magnitsky Act in the last Parliament. The Magnitsky Act is a tool being looked to by the Iraqi community for responding to violence, and I know James knows that it's a tool that's very important important for many different communities as they seek Canadian engagement in promoting justice and peace in other parts of the world. Does anybody else have further comments they want to make? All right, thank you. And any questions? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.